I grew up in New York and New Jersey. We moved from New York to New Jersey when I was a kid. And I had a very theatrical family, still do. Mother and father from Brooklyn, New York, so a lot of passion, a lot of hand motions, a lot of talking, a lot of yelling. And my mom started a drama club. She was a teacher, actually at my school. And my sister was into it, and I started seeing Broadway on Broadway shows when I was 6. So yeah, we were into it. We were into it. Yeah. Probably the most recent favorite book is Live by Night by Dennis Lehane. He wrote a lot of books people know that have been made into movies. Right now is The League. Rewatching it on Netflix. It's on FXX. 5 friends, his wife, several wonderful women, female actresses. So funny about a fantasy football league and friendship and 30-somethings figuring it out. It's nuts. And then film, off the top of my head, I'd probably have to say, I can't pick a favorite, but Fight Club is a big one. Ed Norton's a big favorite of mine, and Brad Pitt's pretty amazing too. Everybody in that movie is fantastic. First car was a Jeep Cherokee Sport gunmetal blue, really unique color. They only make it a few years. 1997, great car. Wish I still had it. First acting job that I got paid for, probably like really paid for, was at this small equity children's theater in Metuchen, New Jersey called the Forum Theater. And I played the sheep in Charlotte's Web. And I was like 14. And everyone else in the cast was like older. And it was really cool. And we laughed so much. It was a really cool education for me. I loved it. Small Mouth Sounds, really unique new American play by Bess Wohl. Only the first ever regional production. It was originally done in New York not too long ago at Ars Nova. And now it's being expanded somewhere else. So probably the last regional production for at least a little bit. Not very much talking in this show. It takes place with 6 strangers at a silent retreat at like the Omega Institute, let's say, in upstate New York. So just a lot of people from different places trying to figure it out, all with different goals, intentions in mind, and looking for some type of understanding, some type of clarity. Rehearsal was tough because, again, not much talking. It's mostly done in silence, apart from a few interjections when words become necessary, or people use them. But so there's a lot of movement based on what you're doing, and be very in tune with the other actors and what they're doing. So it was really, really fun to work on. Mid-30s yoga teacher in New York City. Not just a yoga teacher, but owns several studios. I think he wants to go to the retreat because he still feels like something is missing. He still feels like some part of him is missing. He looks for fulfillment in so many different places where he's really not going to find it, and he hasn't found it. He's relying on others instead of looking inward. So I think he's trying to do that at the start of the play. But I don't want to give away too much about him. But he's really good-looking yoga guy. Well, when I moved to Houston about 4 or 5 months ago, from New York, I really had a few people I knew. My family lived here, which is why we came in the first place. Sort of just be in a different city, get away from New York a little bit, try something new. And I wanted to be close to my family for a while. It was important at this time. When I got here, I just did some of those general auditions for a bunch of theaters in town, the group auditions for a bunch of theaters. And I got a lot of calls from it, which was really cool. But Stark Naked is amazing. It was founded by actors Kim Tobin Leal and Philip Leal, obviously, and they're really big forces in Houston from what I'm seeing. And they do really cool work, and they pick really cool plays like Small Mouth Sounds, something brand new. They trust that an audience will come. It's awesome. Houston Theater's been great to me so far. I'm new. I'm doing a show at the Alley, which is like an iconic regional theater, as everyone knows. So that's next for me. And then Stages Repertory, which is a really big theater in Houston. And these are all equity theaters that are paying actors to do work, and they all have an audience. So I got to say, I think it's pretty cool. Houston likes their theater. I guess I would probably have to say Jeff Miller, who plays Ned. Um, he gets to have this monologue in the middle of the show. Really, I feel like it's the voice of what a lot of people are feeling right now, especially in this generation, where we so badly, with everything evolving, and the world is really, really stressful and crazy, and there's a lot going on that can't really be fully understood, and we're all trying to help, or we're wondering, with all the problems, how can I help fix this? What can I actually do? I don't even know. So we all try to find peace within this and breathe, but we still feel this weird feeling like, the natural resources are going to run out on the planet. What do we do? Like, my life is bad enough. I'm having problems in my life, but what about the bigger things? Like, there's enough to worry about. There's so much to worry about. Like, how am I supposed to, find time to be happy and find time to keep it together? So I think I would like to explore that mindset a little bit. But the one that stands out for me right now, it's really simple, is a friend of mine, Joe, who, another actor, lives in New York. I miss him. He went to Yale School of Drama for acting, great actor. And I would always listen to everybody and go looking for, advice, or where should I go to try to make something happen. And he was like, well, what do you think? What feels right for you? You got to do what's right for you. What's in your gut. I know that sounds cliche, but the way he said it, he said, you know what, man, like, when people tell me all this stuff and they try to affect me, I say, thank you, but, you go, you do you, and I'm gonna do me. And that's kind of how I feel sometimes. Like, I love to get advice from people sometimes, and I love to listen and take it into consideration. But ultimately what I'm learning is to, like in acting, you gotta follow your impulse. Ithaca, great program in Northwest New York. Great BFA, acting and musical theater, great faculty, great facilities. A lot of great actors have come out of Ithaca. You won't even really realize that they're on TV, they're on film, they're on Broadway, they're everywhere. And I got a really great fundamental education there. My professor, Greg Boswick, not only in, my acting classes, my stylized, styles of acting with Shakespeare and the Greeks, and even the beginning of Comedy of Manners and things like that. He was really amazing and taught me to be detail-oriented and thorough, and to really just never be general. He taught me the beginning of being specific. And then at Rutgers with Deborah Headwall and William Carden and Amy Saltz, who were there at the time. Oh God, they're just such amazing teachers. Deborah Headwall studied with Meisner and Uta Hagen, and she's just so incredible about teaching me everything that I learned, but most important about actor's faith and trusting myself and finding a sense of ease in everything I do. And then Billy Carden, who is just such an amazing teacher, and he directed and studied with Uta and worked with Uta for years. And Amy Saltz, who was just a great director. Working with her, I learned how to work, how to rehearse. As far as advice for students that are coming out of educational programs, education is different than the business of acting. The business of acting is not, any actor's favorite thing usually. My advice would probably be, don't get into this business because you want to be rich, famous, and, live in a big house or whatever. Those can't be your goals, I don't think. I mean, maybe not. Take this for what it is. It's coming from me. It's not the only advice. But you have to get into it for the right reason, and in my opinion, that's to do the work. You have to love the work. So when you're rehearsing, when you're performing, the doing of acting, that's the thing that you have to love. And if you love that, and if you just constantly try to do that, I think the money to survive and to live comfortably will come. If you just are real with yourself and follow that. We have five senses, and only when you're In a theater, all these five senses are stimulated. Um, you can feel everything. Your imagination convinces you you're tasting things. Perhaps you're right there in the theater with the actors and other people, and you feel their energy from other audience members. You feel it from the actors on stage. It's a visceral experience, and we crave that as human beings. And there's no substitute for it. So I think we got to still keep working and still believe that there is and always will be a place for theater in America and around the world. Personally, I just want to be a better husband and son and brother and uncle and cousin, personal relationships, better friend. I think you focus so much sometimes on your career or being on acting or on yourself or working out or eating right or, yourself. And I just have to remind myself every day to be thoughtful and considerate about everything else. Professionally, I mean, it's kind of funny, but I've always just wanted to just have a lot more Shakespeare, just that I could quote, spontaneously. I would just be able to quote Shakespeare wherever I was at any time, in any situation if it called for it. I could be at a coffee shop anywhere, and I would do that. So I know a bunch, and obviously from my career, but could always learn more.